Well, Backcountry Pilgrim tagged me again. He just did a video recently on new gear that he's going to be using in 2022, and he threw a tag out to As the Crow Flies Hiking and myself. So I had to think about what gear am I using in 2022 that's different than 2021. And I actually do have a few items. So let's go ahead and take a look at those one by one. Let's start with footwear. For the past few years, I have been an Ultra Lone Peak fan. I'm still an Ultra fan. So I've been using the Ultra Lone Peaks, the 4s, the 4.5s, and the 5s. These have been my favorite as far as durability goes. The 4 was the most comfortable for me, but the toes came apart on those. The 4.5s, the sides blew out on both feet, maybe after 300 miles on them, so that was not impressive. These have held up beautifully, probably have 400 miles on these or so between street walking and trail hiking. These have held up great. They're still very comfortable. The 4s were the best in my opinion. I will continue to be an Ultra guy, but once these things are done, I'm going to move to either the Temps or the Olympus. The reason, well, there's really one reason. I'm in my 5th decade of life. I'm not getting any younger, and although I don't feel it in my knees now, I want to not feel it in my knees later. So these do not have a lot of cushion. I love the zero drop, but I think I need more cushion to start saving my knees now so that I can still use them later. Now the Temps add a little bit more support than the Lone Peaks, but the soles, from what I understand, are not so grippy, where the Olympus have much grippier soles. And so I might look into those, but the stack height might be just a bit too much for my liking. So I'll give them both a try out in the store, and I'll land on one of those for my next Ultra shoe. I'm an Ultra boy though, not moving from those. I love this company. The best shoes out there, in my opinion. All right, let's look at another piece of footwear that I'm going to be bringing differently in 2022 than I have in the past. Now, it's funny that I talked about saving my knees because I'm changing the sandals that I use when I go hiking in sandals. I know that's kind of stupid. I'm gonna up my game in my Ultras to save my knees, but yet I hike in sandals. That's kind of ridiculous. Now, I love hiking in sandals. I have refused to do it in long distances on a regular basis. I have done a 14-mile day in the zero sandals. Probably pretty stupid to do for my knees. I felt great, but it's not something I'm going to do on a regular basis. In fact, I absolutely love those sandals, but I am going to move to something a little bit more substantial for any kind of hiking in sandals. And I found this brand. This is the Bedrock brand. It has the Vibram soles, which I really like. They're pretty thick. They feel really sturdy. I do like the thong approach to these. Good adjustments on the back via Velcro, and then this one here over the top of the foot. The main reason I'm going to try these out this year is the Vibram soles, which I really like, and they're just a little bit more support for the soles. I'll give these a try once the weather gets nicer and it's not going to snow 8 inches, and I'll let you know how it goes in a future video. All right, I have 3 more items that I'm going to be doing differently in 2022. The next one is my sleeping pad. I'm moving from the 12-ounce Therm-a-rest pad that I have to the, I think this is 8 ounces, but this is the Uber Light. I'm going to be switching to this starting, again, the moment the weather changes a little bit. With that, I'm also going to start using the pump on many of my trips. Now, if I'm on a really long trip, I'm probably going to leave this at home to save the space, save that couple ounces so I can use those other ounces toward food or something like that. But I'm going to save some weight here, and I'll save some weight here on longer trips, but on normal weekend trips, these 2 are coming with me. You know, when you get done at the end of a long day, I just don't want to spend the 20 breaths or so blowing this thing up, or 12 breaths, whatever it is. I'd rather just connect it to this and let it do its work. Maybe I'm lazy, I don't know, but these are 2 new pieces of gear that are coming with me this year. Lastly, it's just a gear adaptation. I use the Tokes Cook Pot. I have the 750 milliliter Tokes Cook Pot. I'm simply switching to the 450 milliliter Tokes Cook Pot. The reason is, all I do with it is boil water for either coffee or for my dehydrated meals. I used to put my meals right in the pot. I actually stopped doing that. I just use the bag that the meal comes in. And so I just don't need 750 milliliters of water. I'll just warm up another cup of water if I want coffee along with my meal. It's super easy. I'll just boil that water while the dehydrated meal is cooking. Really simple. So I save a little bit of space. Not really worried about the weight with this one, but save a little space. It's a little smaller. So I'm switching to the 450 milliliter cook pot. So there's my list. What are you doing differently in 2022? Specifically, I'm gonna tag a couple people. Everyday backpacker, what are you doing differently in 2022? What new gear do you have? Also, Southern Hike, I wanna know what new gear do you have for 2022? Let's hear about it and continue the tag. If you don't mind, that would be great. But everyone who's watching, leave in the comments below. Let me know what new gear you have for 2022. All right, everyone, thanks for viewing. We'll talk to you later.